Hello and welcome back to another video. Now on my page I share all things secondhand shopping, luxury for less shopping and a little bit of luxury shopping as well. So in today's video I thought it'd be nice to share a review of my 30th birthday gift. I would say on the market there are probably 4 highly iconic luxury bags named after famous women. We've got the Birkin, Jane Birkin, we've got the Kelly, we've got the Jackie, and we've got the Lady Dior. So the handbag I'm going to be reviewing for you today is, of course, my beautiful birthday gift, the My Lady Dior by Dior. And I do want to preface this video by saying when it comes to luxury handbags, particularly in this space of luxury, and I'm talking bags upwards of £500, £1,000, this is not a purchase that I take lightly. It's also not a purchase I make regularly. I would say at a maximum 1 time per year and for very special occasions. These are items that I either save up for a long period of time. They're to mark momentous occasions in my life, such as my 30th. So this bag is not a purchase that was made lightly, and it's not a purchase that I can afford to make regularly. So I wanted to make that point clear before starting this video, because I know how easy it can be to be on social media or to be on YouTube and to see lots of people buying hundreds of luxury bags. First of all, this is the only Dior bag that I own, and secondly, this was a bag I had on my vision board for about, I think it was 7 years. And I'm going to talk more about the price of this bag. It was secondhand, why we got it secondhand, and of course I'm going to be talking about all of the other elements of the bag, what I love about it, what it fits inside it, a little bit of history about the bag. So if you are interested in finding out more about the My Lady Dior handbag, keep watching and let's get into the video. Now before I start talking about this bag, I actually think it's really important when it comes to spending the amount of money that these bags cost to know a little bit about the history of the bag. Not only do I think this gives you more appreciation for the piece that you've bought, but I also think it's really interesting. So the bag was actually first released in 1999. That's 1 year after the year I was born. So it's 29 years old, which is definitely testament to just how timeless this style of handbag is. And its original nickname was actually Chouchou, which means favourite in French. But then the bag was later renamed the Lady Dior in honour of Diana, the Princess of Wales. She was actually gifted the bag by the First Lady of France at the time. Can you imagine being gifted this bag? What a great gift. The reason that they named it in honour of Diana was because she was said to be a huge fan of the bag, of the style. There are so many pictures of her with different variations of the bag, and as you can see, she wore it so well. To this day, she is still one of my favourite fashion icons in history. I just think she's so elegant and chic, and I really do think her style was really ahead of its time. Still to this day, there are people taking inspiration from her outfits, from her style, and I'm definitely one of those people. I really look up to her, not only for the person that she was and the kindness that she radiated, but also for her beautiful, elegant, timeless style. So there are mixed reports on when they actually changed the name. It may have been late 1995 in September, it could have been in early 1996. But according to Dior, it was in 1995 while she was attending the opening of the Paul Cézanne at the Grand Palais in Paris. The name Chouchou was kind of its unofficial name, and I think it was a little bit later in 1996 that they officially named it the Lady Dior handbag. And over the years there have been so many different variations, limited editions, different versions of the Lady Dior. The most current one to my knowledge is the ABC Dior, which is not the bag that I'm reviewing for you today. I've actually got a slightly older version, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. So now that we know a little bit more about why it's called the Lady Dior, a little bit of its history, let's get into my specific bag, how I came to acquire it, what I love about it, and a little bit about its design, why I love it, and of course if you've got any questions you can ask me them down below. So first up, let's talk about why I chose this particular style. As I say, this is actually not the newest version of the Lady Dior. This is called the My Lady. And the difference between this bag and the current ABC Dior that you'll find in the boutiques if you were to buy it, let's say today at the time I'm filming, is only one difference. And that's the strap. So this is the small size, which I think is a perfect size for an everyday bag. The mini I find a little bit too small, and the medium I think is a really great size for a day bag, but it's just a bit too big if you want it, for me personally, as an evening bag. I think the small is the perfect happy medium between wearing it for going out shopping, going out during the day, but you can also remove the crossbody strap and wear this as a really nice evening bag. Now the difference between this bag and the current style is the strap. You can see here on the strap, I've got these little pins, which are a little decorative feature that appear on lots of the newer styles of the Lady Dior. And the difference here is these pins, you twist on and off to remove them. On the ABC Dior, which is the newer style, they're not actually pins. They're actually removable, almost beads that you can slide on and off the bag. So if you didn't want anything on your bag, you could remove them entirely and you wouldn't even know. Whereas with this style of bag, if you were to remove the pin entirely like this, you are left with this kind of little gap here, which I think is the reason that most people actually opt to buy the ABC Dior. But as you'll know, when a bag is more in demand, that reflects in the price. Everything else besides from that is exactly the same. The dimensions, the little charm that they're famous for. So let's talk about the price of this bag and where we acquired it. So I got this bag in October of 24, which was the year that I turned 30. And my husband asked me, you know, what do you want for your birthday? I want to get you something really special, something that you'll keep. And I immediately knew, I've known for years and years and years, that I really, really wanted a Lady Dior handbag. But what I didn't want was for my husband to spend upwards of £5,000 for a handbag. As much as I love luxury and I'm happy to spend good money on luxury, I also know when to shop on the second-hand market. And I said to him, I do not want you spending £5,000 upwards for a handbag. What I would prefer is to find a really beautiful condition, pre-loved Lady Dior. And he was probably quite delighted to hear that. So we searched online for a good 4 months to find not only the size that I wanted, but also the condition that I wanted. The Lady Dior that I've got came with its original dust bag. It also came with its original box, all of the tissue that it originally came with, even down to the original ribbon and all of the authenticity cards as well. That was really important to me. So that did take a fair bit of searching and a lot of patience actually. Now, as this bag was a gift, I'm not sure on the exact price that he ended up spending, but I know that it was round about half the price that you would pay new. And when I tell you this was in immaculate condition, I'm not kidding. Now, of course, buying a second-hand bag at this price comes with risk. And with Vestiaire Collective and quite a lot of the second-hand luxury retailers, you can pay extra to have a third-party authentication, which is what we did. So by buying it second-hand, we got a really, really good deal on it. But one thing we noticed was when we were looking for the ABC Dior, these bags were coming up much closer to the price that they're still selling for first-hand. And when I say similar price, I mean there was a difference of maybe about £500. So it didn't really make sense to buy it second-hand for that style, because you may as well really just spend the extra £500, have the in-store security and the in-store experience. So it's for that reason that I actually, in the end, the strap actually doesn't bother me at all. I quite like the charms on there. And to be honest, most of the time that I wear this bag, I actually don't use the crossbody strap. I really like it as just a standalone top handle bag. But that is something to note if you are looking at this style. Definitely be aware of the pros and cons of the crossbody strap. Now, something else I really liked about this particular bag was the colour. Now, this colour, which is a much darker grey than the current grey styles that are available, it's no longer in production. It's only available in the My Lady Dior. And I love this colour. I really wanted a neutral shade that wasn't a white, wasn't a cream, and wasn't a black. The pink tone for me was a little bit too girly. I like a bit more of an edgy twist, but I still wanted a bag that felt a neutral colour. I've got so many black bags, so I didn't want another black bag. And when it came to the white and creams, whilst doing my research, I read about the colour transfer. If you wear jeans or dark colours, very often the back of the bag will start to get colour transfer. And of course, I didn't want that. I wanted a bag that would really, really wear nicely and that I wouldn't have to be worried about using. I wanted a bag that I could just wear, enjoy wearing it, not feel concerned about what I'm wearing with it for the worry that it's going to get dirty. So when we saw this colour, I immediately thought, you know what, that's a little bit different. It still feels neutral, but I really, really like it. So that's the reason for this colour choice. I think this goes so nicely with navy, it goes nicely with brown, it goes with white, it goes with grey. I'm really, really happy with it. It's a little bit different, but it still feels neutral and very versatile. Now, another small difference between this style and the current style, based on the research that I've done, is that the strap on this bag is actually adjustable, whereas on the ABC Dior, now correct me in the comments if you've got this bag, because this is just what I've read online, apparently the ABC Dior doesn't actually have an adjustable strap. That's actually quite a nice feature. It's actually adjustable on both sides. So you're getting a good, I'd say 2 to 3 inches of adjustability, which is actually quite a lot when you consider, you know, your crossbody length. If you're particularly short or tall, it does give you that little bit of flexibility. Now let's talk about why this style. Why did I want a Lady Dior out of all of the luxury bags out there? The first thing is the timelessness. As I say, this bag has been around since the mid-90s. That's a long time for a bag to remain at pretty much the exact same design. Yes, it's had some small tweaks over the years, but generally speaking, this bag has stayed almost identical to its original design. The second reason is I do not think you can get a more timeless style of handbag than a top handle bag. I love top handle bags. Even for my own brand, I've designed a top handle bag. I think they're the most versatile, I think they're the most elegant, I think they're the most user-friendly. I love a top handle bag, particularly that can be worn crossbody, because then you really can use it for any occasion. It's got a certain level of casualness worn across your body, but then for special occasions, it just looks so gorgeous on the crook of your arm. So that is another reason why I particularly wanted this style of bag. And the third reason, of course, it's functionality. I love the way the handles really open fully. They're on this really big, gorgeous jump loop. Can you see that there? And it does feel nice and safe. Now, this particular size doesn't actually have an internal zip. I believe that some of the other sizes do have internal zips. Just on my laptop here, it says here that anything from the medium size upwards typically has a zip, and that would make sense because they're slightly larger, and therefore I think you're probably going to put more in there. It makes sense to have a zip. But if I'm completely honest, I've had no problems with this bag. It's got this really nice flap inside, which does make it quite hard to access. The flap is quite big, as you can see, and it just folds over really nicely, making this bag feel, I think, quite secure. So those are the reasons I chose this bag. I thought it was a nice, practical bag. I think it's really chic, and it's just a timeless bag. I want a bag that in 30 years, you know, I can still be using and remember it as such an iconic time in my life, my 30s. I love celebrating any major milestone in my life. Life is so short, and I really like to make a big deal about birthdays, of key celebrations and milestones. I'm really looking forward to having this bag for the rest of my life and potentially handing it down to, if I have a daughter, or if I don't, my sister or another family member. So those are the main reasons that I chose this particular style. Now, of course, this bag does have a great resale price if you keep it in pristine condition, particularly some colors rather than others. These colors tend to be black, navy, cream. I have no intention of ever selling this bag, but if I were to resell it, I could definitely get around about the price that it was bought for, and maybe even more depending on where I sell it. And then for the final section of this video, let's talk about the actual bag, its functionality and its practicality. So I'd say the first thing to note is this bag is a great size. It doesn't look particularly big. As I say, it's still dainty enough to be worn as an evening bag, but it really does fit a lot inside. I'm going to quickly show you what it fits. Here we've got my phone. This is the larger size of the iPhone 14. We've got a hairbrush, and these both fit really, really comfortably inside. And when I say comfortably, I mean I could probably fit, let's have a look. I could fit a large bottle of perfume. This is 100 ml. Still loads of space. So this bag I actually use as a day bag. The only thing I can't fit inside here is a large half-litre water bottle. When it comes to fitting in makeup, phone, keys, a bottle of perfume, a card holder, it really did surprise me at just how much fits inside it, and I think that's why I've been using it so much. Another nice thing about this bag is the crossbody. I'm only 5 foot, so I've actually got it at the shortest length that it goes, and that sits at a really nice kind of hip height on me. But of course, if you're a bit taller, as I say, you've got a good extra inch on each side to lengthen out the strap. So I think it's a really, really nice, versatile bag for the majority of shapes and sizes. Now, when it comes to the type of leather that I chose, I didn't want a patent style. I like how they look, but I spoke to a couple of friends who have the patent version, and apparently it can get a little bit sticky over time, which is quite interesting. Again, this isn't from personal experience, but it's something that I found during my research. So I went for the classic lambskin, and it's just been wearing so nicely, not a single scratch in sight. And I've been really impressed at how nicely this bag wears. I don't feel precious when I use it. I feel like it can just be used as a really functional bag. Other features to note, it's got the little feet, which I think is great for kind of maintaining the quality of the bottom of the bag, particularly if you are using it quite a lot and you've got a lot inside it. That just kind of helps with the longevity and the quality of the bottom of the bag. And I also think that the strap is really, really user-friendly. It's actually on a little bit of a twisty lock, so when you're wearing it, it doesn't get twisted on your body. And it also removes really nicely. I love all the little details on the bag. I think when you're paying the price that these bags pay, those little details go a long way. You can see it's got little CD just there, and this comes off really nicely like that, so you can just kind of take it off quickly. And I just love how it looks without the strap. I think that is just gorgeous. So in summary, would I recommend this bag? Absolutely. I really, really love it. I've been loving using it. I find it really easy to use and very reliable. I'm really happy with the color that I chose and the size. I think the size is just brilliant. I honestly wouldn't change the size, because at one point I was contemplating the mini. I went and tried it on in the Dior boutique, and I just realized it's so small. I wouldn't be able to use it on a daily basis, or if I did, I would probably struggle to take anything out with me. But then the medium just felt a little bit too big for me, particularly because I am so short. Far and sure on size, I would definitely recommend going and trying them on in the Dior boutique. Even if you're not buying it firsthand, it just gives you a really good sense of the difference of the sizes. If there's anything I've not answered, or if there's anything you want to know about the bag, just let me know in the comments below. Of course, I will answer there. And I really hope you've enjoyed watching this review. If you are interested in secondhand shopping and luxury for less shopping tips, make sure to subscribe to my page, and I will see you again in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.